Hi guys, so I've had the Nineway Segbots for a little over a month now. I think it's been about a month or maybe kind of 2 or 3 weeks. Either way, I've done 150 miles, so I've been riding it quite a lot. I've noticed a few things, a few hints, a few tips. At present, well, first and foremost, actually, the last time I put up a video, someone said more of the scooter and less of me. I guess I'm really ugly, but that's up for question, I guess. My wife doesn't think so. Maybe. I've changed the colours to this cool looking wave, which you can do via the app. I'm still loving the scooter. There are a few problems in one of my, or a few things that I want to talk about. In my last video, I said that there wasn't an audible click when you erect the scooter. So for example, if I fold the scooter down, until it's on the, on the floor, like that, okay, so it's folded down. And then I lift up the scooter, there wasn't an audible click when the handlebars went into place. But kind of now there is. It's not great, but it's okay. So that's one thing. Secondly, I actually noticed on a ride that I did recently that the accelerator button, which is the right one, the blue one, locked into place. So when I tried to stop, I couldn't, and the bloody thing kept on going, which was really dangerous. The reason for this, and it's my fault, is that where the handlebar here is, there's a gap just there, or there was a gap. So I've pushed this lever, so to speak, or this piece of rubber here to make it flush. Yeah, that was a big mistake. What that has effectively done, or what that effectively did, was it kind of made this, which is the accelerator, not return to its normal upright position. So be careful, don't do that, okay? Leave the thing where it is, or leave it so these can rotate freely, okay? Because when I pushed this in, this rotated, but it was quite hard, you know. So it taught me a lesson, because I was using the scooter over a bridge and it wouldn't stop, and I was coming to literally a dead end. So thankfully I jumped off the scooter and all was well, but I figured it out. Next thing, the app. I'm struggling to find out on the app how where my mileage is, and actually I can't see it on the or at least I don't know how to figure it out on the actual device. I can't work it out. What I do know is that I know how many journeys I've done to work and back, and I know how far it is. So I've done over 150 miles on it. That much I do know. Now, a couple of the concerns that I have. It's going to start where the other video was. It's going to start with the speed. 15 miles an hour is fine, but it's not great. The torque is okay, but it's not great. And this is in the top mode, in the third mode, where the red S is, as you can see. So there are 3 modes. There's the normal, which is nothing on the screen. Double click the start, and you get the white S button, and that goes up to 12 miles an hour, I think it is. Then you double click it again, and that goes up to 15 miles an hour. But even at 15, the torque isn't fabulous. The pull is okay, and the speed at 15, it feels okay, but not wow. And the only time that you're ever going to feel that it's really fast is when you're riding it on a pavement. If you're riding it on a road, the national speed limit in the UK is 30, right? This going at 15 is really, really slow, feels really, really slow. Additionally, I was going up a hill the other night. It was about a 10 or 15 degree gradient, and it did pull up the hill, but it wouldn't go past 10 miles an hour. Now that sounds fine. I accept that one of the drawbacks of this is that, you know, there'll be a reduced speed when you're going uphill. That's fine. But it didn't just reach 10 miles an hour. You know, it literally went to 6 miles an hour and then crept up gradually. And it wasn't a steep hill, right? It wasn't a steep gradient hill. It was slight. So I was a bit upset about that. And even, you know, and like I said, I get that there's going to be drawbacks with these scooters, but you shouldn't lose 30% power going up a slight gradient, like a 10% gradient hill. You really shouldn't. You know, it's Segway after all. They were the, you know, the originators of these, you know, vehicles, so to speak. They've still got the name, and I know that Segway's gone and Ninebot took them over, but, you know, I would have expected more power. So a lot of people have said to me, get the battery, but like I said in my last video, the battery for me is for range. The battery, the extra battery, which is what, 160, 170 pounds sterling, for me it's just not worth the money. I mean, I'll get what, another 15 kilometers range, and the range doesn't bother me. The range is fine. The 25 kilometer range is fine. Even if I get a 50 kilometer range, the 25 is fine. I charge it and I've always got enough. I never break down. I never lose battery. But the speed will only increase from 15 to a maximum of 20. And I can't justify £160 over the £400 that I've spent on this scooter. 400 and I think it was £30 that I spent on this scooter, taking it up to 590, near £600 for what? For an extra 5 miles an hour? I really don't think that the jump is worth it for me. If you want more range, fine, yes, the battery is worth it. But don't forget, the battery is going to increase the weight. And the weight on this thing is really, really, really heavy. Okay, like I said in my last video, if you're lifting this more than 30 meters, you're going to know about it. A couple of the other things. Whenever I went over a pothole, which I was unfortunate enough to do, because in the UK, you know, we're littered with them, the knock on the suspension was audible. Like, it felt like the scooter was going to break. It was like a loud, crunching, guttural sound. It was horrible. I don't think there's been any lasting damage to the scooter, and I know that these things are made of sturdy stuff, but I also know that the suspension on this is not world class. If I lean it over, if I lean this over, this, I don't know whether you can see on the underneath, is the spring. It's not great. I mean, fair enough. Yeah, that's a little bit of thing. And then you've got a shock here, which, I've got to be honest, the knock, the bang, when this thing went over the pothole, and it wasn't a massive pothole, look, I felt unsafe. It shook the whole bloody thing, and it's like a colossal bang, and I had to look at the scooter to make sure that I hadn't broken anything. Thank God it seems to be riding still okay. Let me just turn off the scooter. So overall, where am I? Yeah, look, overall I'm happy, but I think there are better models out there, right? Now, I haven't ridden them, but I've seen them online. Or should I say, I have ridden them, but not for a long time. Not like I've owned something. I haven't ridden one of the other scooters for longer than a quick test drive. This I've actually owned, I've actually lived with. So there's good and bad points. The good points are, I love the look of it. I love the app. The app is extremely easy to use. I love the colour display at the bottom. I kind of love the way that it's the Ninebot Segway. I'm a bit of a brand whore, so to speak. I like that fact. I like the sleekness of the design. I think the pull is okay, but it's not wow factor. And to be perfectly honest, to be fair, it does everything that I want it to do. Right? It's safe. I can lean on it. The fact that the tyres have got no air in them doesn't make any difference. You can still lean, you can still corner. It's great balance, it's great handling. The concerns or the downsides, not quick enough for what I want. I think the extra battery is too expensive, and if I was spending that money, the 160 quid, I would expect another 10 miles an hour. So if I could buy the battery and it took the speed up to 25 miles an hour, I'd buy it immediately. I'd buy it tomorrow. Apart from that, I still love it. I still use it every day. The novelty hasn't worn off. Okay, I haven't got bored with it. I take my son out on it, which I probably shouldn't do, but I do. My son is 3 years old, he's tiny. So he stands with his 2 feet here, and I stand with kind of 1 foot here and 1 foot off the thing, and he holds the handlebars, and I put my hands over his little hands to keep him safe. By the way, guys, if you are going to do that, don't make the same mistake that I did. Keep your kids' hands like here and here, not anywhere near these, as I found out when we nearly crashed, but he's okay. We didn't come off and we didn't crash. So overall, still love it. This will be the last of these videos. So look, if you are thinking about getting a scooter, I'm going to tell you this is pretty damn good. Okay, I've lived with it. I'm 80%. That's how I feel. I'm 80%. Is it everything that I wanted? No. But is it everything that I expected? Yes. Okay, I just want a little bit more torque, a little bit more oomph from the battery. But overall, I'm happy. It's reliable. Nothing is broken. At least I don't think that knock through the pothole did any damage. At least none that I can notice. And it still looks kind of brand new, and it's been through the ringer, this thing. I will say that this foot plate, I read a lot of complaints before I bought this, that this was, it didn't have enough grip. If you can see the design, it's got a lot of grip. It's like an undersole of a trainer. It's really, really grippy. You're not slipping off the thing. I haven't noticed it. And I've got it wet. And it's even been snowing. Well, I didn't use it in the snow, but my feet were soaking wet, and I still got on this, and it's been absolutely fine. So the grip is fine. This base plate could be wider. I wish it was, and it could be longer. And God, I'd love the fact if it had like a removable seat. I would love that. Just to, put here and it came up here. I'd really like that, because I like a scooter that is kind of versatile. But overall, I'm kind of, I'm very happy with it. So look, if you are thinking about getting it, guys, I read great reviews on this. I read terrible reviews on this. But for an honest review from someone that's actually lived with it and done a lot of miles on it, it's a very good piece of kit. So if you are going to get one, be safe, be happy, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks, guys. Bye.